So as you guys know, I was mayor for 12 years, and all the things that I did right, Kathi Hemken gets the credit. All the things I did wrong, it's not her fault. I just didn't listen to her. Kathi was very helpful to me when I first came on, and was helpful consistently over 12 years. Giving not just me, but many mayors in our area, we would get together occasionally and have conversations and talk about challenges, highlights, and sometimes lowlights, but she was always there, has always been there. And I could say, I think she's the coolest mayor. She drives around in a really cool white Dodge Challenger. I almost slipped up. Challenger. And she also has a really cool Cooper High School letter jacket that I've seen her sport at a pep rally in the past at Cooper High School, and she just like fit right back in. It was like she was back there at high school all over again. So I have many memories of Kathi, and one of them actually is the Beyond the Yellow Ribbon, is the quad communities Beyond the Yellow Ribbon, which you're going to hear about. But first, for those who don't know about Mayor Hemken, she has been a resident of New Hope since 1976. And she was elected to her first term as mayor in 2008 and was reelected in 2016 and in 2012, 2016, and 2020, and is wrapping up an illustrious career at the end of this year. How's that for a rhyme? Nice. And if you think she's fantastic as mayor, she also served on the city council, I'm guessing, 14?
Planning commission.
12. You were planning commission. Was it 14 or 12 or 16 years? 11. Who's counting? I barely survived mayor for 12 years. I don't know if I could have done planning commission for 11. So Mayor Hemken has a lot of experience with the city of New Hope. And prior to all this, or maybe there was some overlap, Mayor Hemken was a production control supervisor at Honeywell. I'm assuming the one on Douglas Drive.
All of them.
All of it. And she has a Bachelor of Science degree from the University of Minnesota. And her community involvement includes, as I mentioned before, the Planning Commission, not only as a member, but was chair. She's also served on the Met Council's Land Use Committee and has been the president of the North Metro Mayors Association. That was for 2 years, but has served on it for many years. Also part of Hennepin County Active Living. She's been a part of the Regional Council of Mayors, where I had that honor of sitting side by side with Kathi many times. She's also a board member of the Northwest YMCA and is involved in the New Hope Women of Today, the League of Women Voters for Crystal New Hope in East Plymouth. She's an ambassador for, let's see if I get this right, or participates as an ambassador, I'm going to mess this up, Ambassador Care Facility Advisory Board. She's a member of the Ambassador Care Facility Advisory Board. And last but definitely not least, she's a volunteer with the phenomenal Robbinsdale School, no disrespect to Hopkins, but phenomenal Robbinsdale School District 281. And as I mentioned a little bit before, Kathi and I did a lot of work together with the quad communities Beyond the Yellow Ribbon organization. In fact, we were the original co-founders of it, and Kathi continues on as a board member. So without any further ado, please welcome the New Hope Mayor, Kathi Hemken. Is this going to be okay, or do we need the...
Is it on wheels?
No. Well, maybe. Yes.
Yes, it is. But yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Do you want it up more?
no, I want this.
Just give it a good dink. There you go.
Okay. So I'm Kathi Hemken. I'm the mayor of.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, jeez.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
So when I worked at Honeywell, everybody would sit in the back of the room. So one time I had a meeting, and they were all sitting in the back. There were about 40 of them. I took the podium, I moved it to the back of the room, and started talking. And they all went and turned around in their seats. And I said, now next week when I come, could you just sit in front so I don't have to move the podium? They did. So, Beyond the Yellow, I'm here for 3 reasons. I'm only going to tell you 2 of them. And let's be real upfront about this. I'm going to
Might have to move away from the limits, but
probably going to ask for money. Sure, you took away my thunder. I'm good. So I'm going to read this statement. Although the military offers services to help after deployment, at times they still find themselves in need of additional resources once they've been home for a while. So the Beyond the Yellow Ribbon is an organization that was started by the mother of one of my police officers many years ago. Maybe I should go out in the hall.
Yeah, just stay away from any of these round speakers. Yeah, that's good, right there's good.
Okay, how's this? Well,
Just
actually,
staying away from
if I just went back here, there's no speakers back here, then you can just turn around.
they're all over the place.
Oh, jeez. Anyway, it was formed in, I don't know, about 20 years ago. And we had somebody come to us from the four cities, Crystal, New Hope, Robbinsdale, and Golden Valley, asked us if we would be interested in being part of this group. So in 2014, Shep and I and the two other mayors got together and we formed this group called Beyond the Yellow Ribbon. What this group does is it's totally a citizen volunteer group. So we get no money from the state, we get money from you guys. So there's over 200 cities, counties, and businesses in Minnesota that are part of Beyond the Yellow Ribbon. What they do is they provide an opportunity for support for the service members and their veterans. So what that means is, say dad goes off in the military and mom's home with the 3 little kids and she's just overwhelmed. That's when Beyond the Yellow Ribbon steps in. We might help mow the grass, we might babysit, we might, just a number of things, whatever she needs. The other thing is sometimes there's a single parent. Single parent goes, the children are with the grandparents. Single parents come home and they are overwhelmed again. So I'm going to tell you a couple stories about what we've done. One of the things that happened was this guy called or texted from Afghanistan and he said, my dad has to go into a nursing home and a bunch of people came and they cleaned out the house, but there's the garage that's all full of stuff and we don't know what to do with it and there's nobody to clean it out and I've got to sell the house and I'm over here in Afghanistan, blah, blah, blah. So we said, fine, we'll take care of that. So this group, the Beyond the Yellow Ribbon, called the company and said, would you donate a dumpster? Yes, they would. And then we called the church and said, can you donate a few people to clean this out? So in one Saturday afternoon, we cleaned out the garage, filled up the dumpster, called the company, they came and picked the dumpster up, we paid for that out of Beyond the Yellow Ribbon, texted the guy back and said, job done, and he started to cry. He said, I can't be there, I don't know who to call, I didn't know who to get in touch with. Beyond the Yellow Ribbon helped him with that. So we also had a person that called us and she said she's home from the military, her son's with him, she's a single parent. He's sleeping, the 10-year-old son is sleeping on the couch and I would love him to have a bed. So, called up a couple companies, asked if they had a mattress, found a bed, went to the store, buy some linens for the bed, 10-year-old boys, and delivered that all, set it up in the room, and she was so thrilled. So they said, these are the things that the Veterans Administration does not do. These are the things that Beyond the Yellow Ribbon does. So the other reason I'm here is to really make you aware of Beyond the Yellow Ribbon, and I brought some flyers here. But I'm not going to give them to you till I'm done, because if I do, you'll start looking at them and you won't hear another thing I said. Maybe you don't want to hear any more I said. Okay, so we have family programs for the kids of returning service members. When your parent is gone for a couple years and they come back, that parent needs to reacquaint with the kid, and the kid needs to reacquaint with the parent. And so we have programs in which we bring the children and the parent there, and the maid if there's a maid involved, so that they can help get re-entered into the community. You just don't get out of the military and come home. You've been trained to shoot people, and now you come home and you're expected to put on a Christmas party or a birthday party. That takes a lot of mental training to get that through them. So we have a program that helps with that. We call it reintegration training. We also help them find resources. When you're overwhelmed and you need some things done, like your gutters cleaned, and you call 3 people and they just say, well, maybe 4 months I can help you. They need help now. So we're able to we have them call us, and we'll take care of finding somebody. We'll get somebody over there to do that. So and where we get these somebodies is from Rotaries, from Lions Clubs, Women of Today, churches. Some businesses have people that need volunteer projects. So we have tapped into that. When Shep and I first started organizing this, we had some help, by the way. We just didn't bump into this by ourselves. We had some help with people that told us exactly what we had to do. So we needed to get 8 to 10 churches, businesses, groups together. Well, then what happened in about 2020, somewhere around there, they decided that, we'll take this big organization, decided that they'd take it away from the volunteers. They hired a person, and her job was to manage Beyond the Yellow Ribbon. Well, her focus was on money, not on helping the actual veterans. And so what happened was the veterans would call, and she would say, well, do you have any resources? Do you have any money? When they called us, we didn't care if they had money or resources or not. They needed a bed. They needed the garage cleaned. That's what they needed. They didn't need somebody making them fill out 18 pages. So what happened was with Beyond the Yellow Ribbon, it kind of faltered. And we did nothing for about 3-4 years, including me, including Shep. It just wasn't working. So then there was a guy named John Marshall, and I believe John is from Golden Valley somewhere here, stepped up and he called us and said, we need to get this reiterated. So John is the president now, and he's really good at this. He's a past military person. He knows what to do, he knows how to do it, and he knows how to tell us what to do and how to do it too. So we're back in business. So 2 things. Military people don't necessarily feel comfortable asking for help. And that's where you guys come in. If you have a neighbor who is either a military, a veteran, or maybe it's the widow of a veteran that needs some help, we need you guys to tell us, because that person probably doesn't know to call us, probably doesn't, oh, well, it's just some gutters, they can stay till next year to be cleaned. Well, no, they can't. So if you guys and our Rotary go out and look and say, well, I think this person needs some help, will you contact them? And we will. So we do things like lawn care, snow removal, minor home repairs, transportation. This is all volunteers, and we get no funding. So the funding comes from Rotaries, it comes from Lions Clubs, they come from hospitals, the VFWs, and private individuals. And it's a 501c3. So with that, I'm going to ask those Shep's eating. Jim, can you pass those out for me? Never keep a guy from his food. I've got 11 grandchildren, 10 of them are boys, and they're big. They're big boys, and Grandma doesn't keep them from food ever. So the phone number on there is a working phone number. I have rejoined the group, so my pretty little face isn't on the brochure, but we're going to probably see if we can't bring Shep back in. Just keep eating, honey. It's okay, just keep
taking a
eating.
break, that's all.
Yeah. Anybody get any questions on how this works and why it works? Swallow.
Sorry, yes, swallow. I might have missed that you said this, but does this model happen in other cities?
It happens in other states.
Okay.
So it's all over the United States.
Okay.
And they figured out in Minnesota that it didn't work to have a paid person doing this, because the paid person's job was to earn her salary and extra money. And so she was more focused on money than she was on the program itself. So there's other cities that have Beyond the Yellow Ribbon. They're all run by volunteers. And and we get our funding from you guys. So, President, tell me how I fill out an application to beg for money.
start with your name.
Start with my what?
Your name,
Oh, it's up there.
okay? And you want money from Golden Valley Rotary, is that what you're asking me?
If you have some, you don't know what to do with. Don't commit. Don't commit. I just want you to think about it. So, a lot of the Rotaries want to have a specific project that it goes to. Because this is a little different, we don't have a specific project, but we do need to have money in the kitty, so when there is a specific project, we try to get volunteers to do whatever we can get them to do. We don't pay somebody to go mow the lawn. But in the case of the dumpster, we had to pay the company, even though they brought the dumpster out, took it away, we still had to pay them for dumping that. And the case with the bed, I think we had to pay for the sheets and the towels and the pillowcases. So there are things that we have to pay for out of this. Last I heard, I think there's about $1,000 in the account, which just, we've only been back in visibility for about 3 months. So we got some money from United Hospital, yes, thank you, that one. And some money from the VFW in Crystal. So we're looking for cash just to put into the fund. We do have an accountant that works with us, but we don't pay him. And so if you want to see a statement, we can provide that to you too.
Kathy, do you, like Golden Valley has the Legion, can't remember the number of it, but, right off of 100. And it's quite a viable organization. Do you also work with them as, some of them could be volunteers that could help?
The VFW and the American Legion are the places where we get the referrals mostly, because they'll be sitting around in there and somebody will say, oh God, my lawnmower broke, I don't have the money to fix it, I can't mow my lawn, I'm gonna get a ticket for that. So that's where we get the referrals.
But they also volunteers, because,
Some, yep.
okay, good, I'm glad.
Peggy?
Yeah, how do you promote volunteering for specific events? Do you get a calendar of those things that you can?
No, because what happens is the person calls us, either the veteran, the neighbor of the veteran, the neighbor of the service person, they'll call us. And that's when we kind of kick into the mode. We have a list of churches that have volunteer groups. We have a list of companies that do service projects. So we start calling down the list till we find a group that can help us. And typically, it's tomorrow. They call, and by the time they call us, they're in an emergency situation. And so we need somebody quick, so we just go down the list till we can find somebody to do that. There's been a couple times where we couldn't find anybody, and so the folks that are on the brochure show up and we do it, if we can.
Yeah, I was just thinking about the sweat equity part, because like, if somebody needs lawn care or snow removal, that would be long term, wouldn't it? I mean, every time it snows, somebody needs to show up and remove the snow.
Well, sometimes it depends. If it's a widower and she or he is older, yes. If it's a person that just like, oh my God, I'm just overwhelmed right at the moment, they might just need that snow removal once. And so we do go out and talk to them. What do you need? A lot of times they never ask for more than they're thinking about today. So they very, very rarely will say, yes, I need somebody to shovel for the next 8 weeks. Usually they need somebody now because they didn't think about getting a snow shovel person, they can't do it themselves. And then we come out and do it, and then they think, well, I'll just hire somebody. It isn't that they can't pay for it, they're just overwhelmed. And that's what we really want to, we don't want these folks coming back from the service and be overwhelmed. We want to be able to help them when we can. We don't ever give, and that was the other thing that was the downfall. And the first time we got together, they were giving these people money. So somebody would call and say, I can't pay my water bill, and they would help pay the water bill. Guess what? Next month, can't pay my water bill. So we had to stop that. We don't give money to anybody. We do provide whatever service we can, whatever they need, in the form that they need it. And if it's something like, well, Christmas is coming and I don't have any money to buy Christmas presents, we will then refer them to like near food shelf that has a Christmas giveaway or some other area. That's because it's, you know, here it is the 12th of December and we've got time to do that. It's where there's an emergency that they need something. The water heater's leaking now. So we can go and see if we can get a water heater and get it delivered today and installed, yeah. Anybody got anything else? Okay, you must have a question. You have that look on your face.
Gloria.
Nothing like a little pressure, right? Yep.
So it sounds like some of the beneficiaries, some of the veterans or widows learn about the program through visiting the VFW or the American Legion. What other ways do folks learn about who to call? And
I go to the memorial events at the cemeteries on Memorial Day with brochures and pass them out there. Could be one of the things they do is they have the veterans stand. Well, I just look around and okay, I got it. Here, have one of these. So we do that. It's amazing. The folks that have been home a while, they don't need help. They figured out how to do this. It's that one that gets home and there's a birthday party tomorrow and I don't have any money to buy a birthday present. And I mean, they're just overwhelmed. And that's our job, to step in and say, you don't need to be overwhelmed, I can help you with this. One of the things they just did last week is they had a lunch for military families. So lots of people, lots of kids. And what they did is they managed, the military managed to have their soldier, man or woman, on a screen. So you could go into a room like this, there's this big screen, you and the kids are sitting there eating your lunch and you can see dad or mom on the screen and talk to them. So I thought that was a really big deal. And some of these kids hadn't seen dad or mom for 6-8 months. So they're sitting there talking to them on the screen, which I thought was just amazing. That's part of the state organization that does that. Because that's a lot of money to put that. It was at the that ice place over in St. Paul. Excel. Yeah. You know, that ice place over
That
there.
ice place.
Does the military help you? I mean, do they give you lists of people who are?
No, they're not allowed to. No. That's why I have to come to you guys and say, do you know somebody? Did you bump into somebody? Can you tell that the grass is getting a little long and, you know, maybe their mower broke? We can fix that.
Kathy?
What is the volume of your work? How often do you get it?
Well, when we first got together, we were getting, maybe 1 or 2 a month. And then it kind of slowed down, and then when they figured out they could get some money from us, we were getting a lot of requests. And then when that stopped, the organization pretty much fell apart about in 2000. The organization that we thought we put together fell apart. So then now it's been reinvented, reorganized, and I would say probably 2 a month maybe, where they need something, the bed for the kid, a birthday present for somebody that, oh, I know, there was another one, a guy, his mother was in a nursing home in Iowa. He didn't have a car, just got home from the military. He needed to get down to Iowa to see his mother who was dying, needed a bus ticket. So we got him a bus ticket to go down there. He went down to see his mother, stayed down there, mom died, came home, and then sent us a really nice letter. He didn't have the money to get down there to see her, he didn't have a car. He was just stuck, he needed some help. And that's what we do. Okay, I'm gonna give this, I have to bring it back there.
Any last questions? Any last questions? If not, wait, don't go anywhere, but give Mayor Hemken a hand, please. And I know this is gonna be a little awkward, but in the, I guess, well, we're all friends and neighbors and partners. You're not gonna make me cry. But as a token of our appreciation, we have some note cards here for you. And the awkward part is that they are scenes of Golden Valley. They're from our annual. They're from our annual Views of the Valley contest. And so that's why I thought it might be odd. You might use the note card at some point and you mail it to somebody at New Hope and they'll say, "What's the New Hope mayor sending me a note card of Golden Valley views?" But it's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Thank you.
Yes, so thank you so much. And we are so thrilled to not only have you here, but also talking about Beyond the Yellow Ribbon. And my hope is at our next board meeting, we can have the conversation and decide, can we be added to that list when there's a call that needs to be made and you're going down that list, that Golden Valley Rotary is on that list. And
You know how to do that.
yeah, so are you the person to contact on that, or is it John, Captain Marshall?
Well, you can call John Marshall.
Okay, we'll do that.
Better yet, you can get involved.
Oh, I can get back.
Just saying.
Like I said, she's been a great mentor, so thank you very much, Mary.